This is not a drill.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought.
Matt Law with a late night dagger. Pochettino has left Chelsea. Exclusive to The Telegraph. Matt Law. Oh my word. I'm literally just reacting to this live. Raw, unfiltered, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get into it and find out what happened. More to follow, apparently, from Matt Law. Just recently, Pochettino was saying, I went for dinner with Todd Boehly. I went for dinner. What does that mean? You think that's bad press? You know, the journalists asking him about that. You think that's bad? I went for dinner. If he was going to sack me, he'd just call me up or ask me for coffee. Apparently coffee's like a breakup thing. But he's gone. At least if we're to believe Matt Law. And he said, this is an exclusive. I'm going to read to you what he says. And I am going to tell you about how I feel. And this football club, just as things are going right, they do this. Guys, I'm always here for you. I'm trying to get the news out to you as quickly as possible, my commentary and the source material. So do consider subscribing to this channel. Hit the bell if you choose to subscribe. Thank you for liking and commenting, and let's just friggin' get into it. Matt Law writes this: Mauricio Pochettino has left Chelsea by mutual consent after meeting with sporting directors Paul Winstanley and Lawrence Stewart and co-controlling owner Badad Iqbali over the course of 2 days. So off the bat there, he went for dinner with Todd Boehly, and separately, the two sporting directors and Badad Iqbali, so Clearlake and the sporting directors, that's the meeting that saw him leave. Telegraph Sport can reveal that Pochettino agreed to his departure with Chelsea late on Tuesday morning. So that's this morning, it's this evening right now. It's 7 p.m. right now. Following the club's end of season review that they started on Monday, yesterday. So yesterday they started the review. They spent all day doing that. This morning they had the meeting and he agreed to leave. So are they saying you failed the review? I wonder, before we read on, I'm going to speculate here that there's something in Pochettino's contract that if he doesn't maybe reach top 4, they're allowed to let him go with no compensation or something. I reckon for this to be such a big thing, this review, I reckon they were exercising the right for it to end maybe, but regardless, it's being spun as mutual consent. There's not thought to be any bad blood between Pochettino and Chelsea, who will immediately start their search for a replacement with a young and progressive coach to be targeted. Pochettino is a progressive coach. Look, take a breath, everyone. Every eventuality is possible. This could prove to be a good decision. We're going to get into all of this. So among the names likely to be considered with Stuttgart's Sebastian Nunes, Girona's Mikel, Ipswich Town's Kieran McKenna, who has been lined up by Brighton, and Leicester City's Enzo Maresca. Well, we know, at least De Zerbi's not in there. Pochettino had met co-controlling owner Todd Boehly for dinner, the fabled dinner, last Friday night, before on Monday and Tuesday spending several hours with Winstanley and Stewart and meeting with Iqbali. This means Pochettino leaves Chelsea after 1 year of the 2-year contract he signed last summer, and he's lined up to pocket a significant compensation fee. So he's going to get money. The departure of Pochettino, which has been described as being amicable, friendly, I guess. Potter one was amicable as well. This is what we do. We hire coaches and we amicably split up with them. So he makes him the third permanent head coach to lose his job under Clearlake Capital after Tuchel and Potter. Man, this is crazy. Bruno Salto managed Chelsea, of course, for 1 game, and then Frank Lampard took interim, making a total of, I know Salto was just 1 game, but a total of 5 managers that have worked under the current Chelsea owners. A run of 5 successive wins at the end of the season clinched European qualification for Chelsea under Pochettino, who also took the club to the final of the Carabao Cup and, of course, the semi-final of the FA Cup, which we were only just discussing earlier this morning or afternoon. The Argentine is left with his head held high and his reputation intact. But in the view of the key figures at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea's season, viewed as a whole, fell short of pre-season expectations and raised issues such as the crippling injury list. Okay. I've been saying for most of the season, look at the medical team because of the injury list, but also look at Pochettino's training methods. Because this was good. We've got to be fair here, guys. We've got to play devil's advocate with everything here, because we aren't behind the curtain. We can judge from the front, like Chelsea fans, like football broadcasters, pundits in the media, and say they would be mental to lose Poch. We don't see everything behind the scenes. We're not at the training ground. We're not in the offices. We're not in the changing room. We don't know everything that's going on. And I do wonder, and speculating here, but this quote from Matt Law here about the injuries, I do wonder if some of that can be put up against Pochettino's methods. He says he's never seen anything like it. There was a lot of injuries at PSG. I wonder if it's linked. I did see a lot of PSG fans' social media accounts throughout his tenure saying he's just causing loads of injuries. I'm not saying that's what's happened here, but I do wonder if that's it. There's updates on Matt Law's piece here saying the Telegraph he revealed the Argentine's future would be resolved at the end of the review, and the review was yesterday morning. So he's gone, he's walked away. They wanted him to leave. He's agreed to leave, I think. He's like, okay, we're not seeing eye to eye. I wonder how much mutual consent is there, or if he's just been sacked. He does get money, compensation, and clearly there was something to do with transfers here. A lot of people were saying with transfers. I think he was just like, give me some control, and they were like, no, this is not how we're working here. You know what you signed up for. You can't move the goal. Again, I'm speculating because we don't know, but from what all the reporters are saying from different media outlets, that he wanted control of transfers. Chelsea weren't prepared to relinquish and afford him that control, and that wasn't something that was promised to him initially. So should he be, that is like moving the goalpost later on. Now Chelsea, I don't want him to leave. So let's talk about how I feel. I don't want him to leave, and this does seem stupid because we've won five games in a row. Players like Cole Palmer looking amazing, Nolly getting better, players liking him. So, the players liking, essentially late season form and players liking him. Two big things. What could you say against him? Maybe the injuries, lack of emotional connection with the fans. Maybe there was that kind of idea that even though the fans were patient with him and didn't turn on him, maybe there was that idea that, okay, maybe we can't push past this sort of Tottenham aura and that affection won't be grown. It seems trivial to me and churlish, but maybe there's an element of that. And maybe there's just like, lack of, because it's so difficult, isn't it? Because it's, like I always said recently, how you finish is better than how you start. And we finished well. Granted, we weren't perfect, and even the win against Bournemouth, we gave up a lot of, chances. But he's finished well, and it's a bit of a circus at Chelsea. So finally wanting stability, as Matt Law writes, there's 5 managers under the new stewardship, the new ownership of Chelsea. It seems crazy, but it's happened. Okay, so we're going to rip the Band-Aid off, or plaster off, as we say here in the kingdom. He's gone. Many of you will be flooding the comments with your disapproval, understandably, and I align myself with that big time. But let's speculate what they can see happening as an alternative. Because going into next season, you would have thought, okay, the players finally know how to play under Pochettino. But what are they expecting from an alternative? Well, okay, let's think about this. I wonder if they're expecting a new coach to come in and get more out of the assets that they've invested in rather than the homegrown players that will bring them revenue. Cynical, but you can maybe guess that's true. For example, they're probably happy Gallagher's playing well, but they're probably also realising that Gallagher's a £50 million pure profit asset at the moment. And we want a new coach not to just rely on him to make us good. That we want a new coach to look to use Lavia when he's fit, to find a way for Enzo and Caicedo to play together in midfield, to maybe utilize Nugachuku or Cassidy or Santos. Maybe make space for Chukwuemeka, who's an amazing player. These more cheaper assets like Chukwuemeka that can play well. And basically amplify the sporting director's work. I'm not saying this is the right thing. I'm throwing out guessworks here. So there's that element of it. And maybe Pochettino was like, you just can't sell Conor Gallagher if I'm going to stay working here. He's just too important to me. Maybe there's a bit of that. Maybe there's also the fact how he's obviously he's a big character, he's a big personality, and although you need that confidence and you don't want someone to be a bit wet like Graham Potter, maybe they found that too difficult and they want to work so much in like a hierarchy and system of moving parts together. You just need... They want a bit more of a yes man. Which is frustrating me, because when I say yes man, I think of like Man United managers maybe, or Gareth Southgate at England, and it's all got this negative connotations of not being true success, not being a Arteta, Guardiola, Klopp, Ancelotti, Tuchel, or maybe Ancelotti probably is a bit of a yes man, Conte, Tuchel, do you know what I mean? Mourinho, none of these guys are yes men and they're all winners, which has me concerned. I do know this model of just having the coach is not that much of an important figure in a team. It can work and it can win. I'm literally grasping onto the concept still that Chelsea have reiterated over and over and over, as in the new owners, that they need to win. Winning is a big part of their model. They need to win. And that's paramount for Chelsea fans. That's ultimately all we give a so-and-so about. Do you know what I mean? Is winning and scoring goals. That's what we want. That's what every football fan wants. And if that's truly the main driving factor of this dismissal, which they believe has to happen for Chelsea to get better and win, then great. But I must be honest, I can't see it right now. I had on good authority prior to this that there's a very good chance he could go. I didn't want to say it because it wasn't on the channel, because it wasn't really my place. And, I don't like it when people say, I know this, because it's just, how do you know? Anyway, point being, I was kind of mentally preparing for it. I still thought there was a chance he was going to stay after the meeting. I still thought we've done well. The players like me, but Pochettino will be thinking actually his stock's higher than Matt Law writes here. People from around world football have gone, well, Chelsea have a circus. Pochettino's done well to get them top 6. Do you know what I mean? Like all that kind of stuff. And he's done well, and he's got a big payout from Chelsea, and he'll probably walk into another good job. And there's plenty of good jobs around, isn't there? Like maybe he could go to, Motta might go to Juve, but there's still maybe he could become the Bayern Munich manager. I don't think he speaks any German. Everyone speaks English out there. But his stock's very high. He'll get a job. So that's kind of me speculating why they've got rid of him, because they need everyone to just work together. And I think he was very mindful to keep saying at the beginning, Pochettino, I know I've signed up for this big project, the transfers, the young players. I know we agreed. He said it a few times in press conferences. He was like, yeah, I'm down, I understand. But maybe over time he just got exhausted and he wanted to take more control, because he's that kind of manager. So, the Leicester City manager, Enzo, Kieran McKenna, is just a championship manager to Chelsea to manage us in Europe. Ow, just hit myself in the gonads. That is Chelsea. Hold on, there is some metaphor poetry there. That is Chelsea personified. Hitting ourselves in the bollocks. Wow, that really hurt. The guy from Girona, the Stuttgart manager's done really well, to be honest. Didn't they finish second in the Bundesliga? But I don't know. Is he good? Look, we'll deal with that as it comes. For the moment, guys, I'm going to ice my testicles. Let me know what you think about this dismissal or this Pochettino walking away. And keep it locked to Football Therapy, because we will follow this story, why he left, potential managerial candidates. as things develop. So keep it locked, turn the bell on. I'll see you back here very soon. Peace.